part of the World Bank Institute online course for training of trainers for the National Disaster Risk Management Program last March 22 to April 17. This is a sample of my course project and of course project from the World Bank Institute Online Disaster Risk Management Training of Trainers. I'm not an expert. I haven't implemented this plan yet, but Joel thought it's good to share it with you. So next slide, please. The components of an online delivery plan. We started the workshop on March 22 while we were in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, conducting our first training to the Indonesians for this AUDRN workshop. So we did the workshop during the day and we had the class during the night. Yeah, so components, of course, we have the objective, identification of our participants for the class, the delivery management plan, the learning outcome, learning plan, course requirements, of course. We have to be very specific on the course requirements of an online course because it's very difficult to keep track of the students, to hold on to their schedules because you're virtually everywhere. This training course was participated in by more than 60 people, participants from all over the world. So we had classmates from Turkey, from Afghanistan, I'm not sure if we had from North America, I think from Asia and the Pacific. So Filipinos also. And of course, difficulties and challenges to expect in the course. The objective, I just lifted this out. They gave us a 3-page outline of the module that we're supposed to teach, to make a plan on. So I just lifted the first 2 from the module and I inserted the third one, how to plan and implement a disaster management program at the community level. So this can be an example of a topic that we can use for service learning in the communities, disaster risk management. Next slide, please. Identification of target participants. Well, I said I want to invite local government personnel to the class, specifically those working on disaster management, the Environmental Management Bureau maybe. Then of course community-based NGOs and people's organizations, maybe our partner communities here in Miriam College. And of course the academic, corporate social foundations, and the business sector working on the environment. Next slide, please. It's very important to have a checklist of prerequisites for the potential participants. Like what we did for this workshop, Joe and I talked about how to identify the participants to invite to this workshop. So not everybody who signified that they wanted to attend this workshop were qualified, were identified as were confirmed. So we had a long waiting list. So you have to be very lucky to have been invited in this workshop. Yeah, very important, maximize distance education. Primarily, these would be the current work being done. So SL service learning for this workshop, and those in the libraries and those using digital tools. And of course, very important is the level of comfort in using the internet, the computer. So I think Joe will assume a Facebook account for all of the participants here. But I'm not sure if we all have Facebook accounts. Next slide. So this is a purely online delivery plan, no face-to-face. But of course, you would like to start with a blended mode of online course, like we have a face-to-face first, the beginning, and have the online course, and have a face-to-face afterwards. Actually, we did a test run of the EDU with Joel as our facilitator, and Dean Bye-Bye, myself, and Al were the students. Yeah, we just scheduled the time. So I was at home, we're all at home, and Joe was also at home. And then we just met online, live, real-time chat. I think it was 8 o'clock or 7:30. And Al was late because he was drinking. So he went to class with 2 bottles of beers. Yeah, and I think we're all in our house clothes, and Dean Bye-Bye's duster. But this one is a purely online course. Like what we did for this workshop, we required you to submit an online profile survey so that we could get all your background, your proficiency, and the number of hours. I included the number of hours that you can dedicate to the e-learning class. It is very important that you signify that I can commit at least 5 hours a week, because I'm requiring, you will see later on that I will require at least 4 contributions in every discussion forum. I can only handle a maximum of 30 participants online, to be managed by 1 delivery team. Then this is a course with fee, but not as expensive as the one from UP. 300 euros. No way. 6,000 maybe for a trainer's training online course for 6 weeks. That's more or less cheap. See, it's cheap, Joe. We should increase. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we also need to come up with a delivery management plan, which contains, number 1, the role of the team. So the team should have 1 facilitator, 1 assistant facilitator, a subject matter expert, and a technical assistant. I think we all know what a subject matter expert is. So mainly deals with content. Normally, you don't need an assistant facilitator, but I put in 1 to assist the facilitator in case she or he cannot go online. So the management plan should include tasks, when to do and who will do. It's just like a matrix, a template, so it will be easy for you not to miss anything from the preparation to the actual and to the post. Of course, announcement of the course, messages. I learned from this training it is very important to come up with very good messages. The communication plan has to be prepared. You should come up with very good letters to your students. So we're actually asked to formulate messages on for different purposes. So later I will show you samples. This is a sample of the announcement of the course. So it doesn't show. Yeah, it's a very generic. Right. Yeah. You have to be very cordial. You have to be very kind. You can't use strong words. We used Moodle for this training. So I asked you to post a picture. When I invited you to the AUEDRN website, I asked you to have a picture with a name in order for us to identify a person to that name as a member. So that's also very important. Yeah, we have different messages for latest news before the course starts, announcement of the confirmation of the participant of the course, and the opening message on the first day of the course. Yeah, like a welcome message. Role as online facilitator and key responsibilities and skills needed. So here, as an online facilitator, I remember Rom saying yesterday that in e-learning, we don't usually call the teacher, but a facilitator of the collaboration, of sharing of the knowledge. So as an online facilitator, you have 4 key main roles: instructor, social director, program manager, and technical assistant. Wow. Skill set. But again, you can have, I said in my plan, I need a team. And I wouldn't want to go solo on implementing this plan, so I need 4 people to implement the plan. So as an instructor, next slide please, that's basically being a teacher, providing the basic information, you relate knowledge that's contributed by the participants with their own experiences, initiating discussion, so you throw in questions, you throw in ideas, and let them comment. Next, as a social director, creating a conducive environment for online learning. Again, I think culture comes in here. I think this is one big challenge for online classes, the culture. Even among Filipino participants during that workshop, I remember there were a few misunderstandings. So it's very important to create a conducive environment where everybody will share. Actually, when we were in Jogja, the first week of this workshop, I was on the verge of quitting. Like, oh my, I can't do this. I was like intimidated by the rest of the world with all their inputs, because you were required to provide country profile of our disaster management situation in each country. So they were all like big guys submitting all this stuff, and I was, oh my, I'm not an expert in the environment field. So, but then I was saved by my facilitator. She was very accommodating. She was very pleasant. Her picture was very nice. Her name is Maria. Yeah, it's just that she was able to get me back on track. So again, being a social director is a very important skill that an online facilitator should have. You motivate participants to actively engage in discussions, and you have to have this collaborative atmosphere. Like, you're all colleagues. I'm not the teacher here. I don't know everything. We share. I just facilitate. So that's a very good atmosphere online to create. Next is the program manager. Program manager, well, this is the nitty-gritty of the plan. So you organize things, you manage the actual delivery of the course, ensuring that schedules are kept, moving on the discussion, guiding the participants. So this is more of an implementer role. Next. And the technical assistant role is, of course, the technology part, on answering questions on how to go about Moodle, or if we're going to use EDU 2.0, how do we go to the class, how we upload our assignments, how do we join the discussion, and so on. Yeah. Next. Yeah, I added learning outcomes. I think this was not really part of the outline that was given to us, but I thought that it was very important to have a clear expectation of what will be the outcome of the class. So based on the module and what I want to achieve in the end of the course, I also enumerated 3 learning outcomes. The middle to advanced skills in planning and implementing a CDRM program. So this is the practical side of equipping the people in the community on how to really manage disaster. If not to avoid as much as possible, mitigate the effect of the disaster. Next, please. And for the learning plan, this is the specific part. This is the detailed part where you put in the topics. So we have session 1, 2, 3. This is also based on the module provided by World Bank, or you can use, well, maybe the SME can provide the module for the plan, for the course. So you just lift it from there. Next. And every week you have to design what are the activities in the week. So, for example, my week 1, getting to know you, a discussion forum 1, and the general course description. So it's just basically posting the description of the course. And I proposed to my facilitator before to have an online chat, real-time chat with the group, but I think they were not prepared with it. It wasn't part of their plan. So I included it here in my own plan. So I want a real-time class chat scheduled toward the end of the week, and I already have assignment 1. What should be the contents of your personal disaster survival kit? You know, this is very cultural. I realize that in different places you may have a different disaster survival kit. Yeah, some would need money inside that kit because their ATM would get wet or something, or the banks will be flooded. Some would, well, basic would be the batteries and flashlights, and maybe food, canned foods. Extra cell phone batteries. So it may, well, in other places you may have different needs that you really need to include in the disaster survival kit. So that's really very community-based, or whatever the situation is in the community. Next, week 2, More discussion, quiz 1, assignment 2. Quizzes are, well, it's for the technical assistant or the person in charge of designing it. It's something that there's a time limit in answering the quiz. And yeah, you open it. Once you open it, you only get 2-3 chances. Yeah, but I wouldn't give more than 1 chance for my quiz. So just 1 chance after a certain period, like 30 minutes or to 1 hour, depending on the questions that you have there. You just click it. Then when you submit, it's there. It's submitted. Yeah, I again have new questions for them to answer. Next. Week 3, I inserted something creative. You create a visual presentation either through a diagram, chart, or even an artwork that shows the stakeholders at the community level implementing a disaster management program. So there, you can scan a picture, a hard copy, or you can do something electronic. Submit as your assignment. Next. I already have a reflection paper week 4. Write down your insights on session 3's topic in the previous week. Propose specific action which you can think can contribute to better the CBDRM program. And the 5th week, synthesize the sessions 1, 2, and 3. And again, I want to hold a live online interactive session. So on the 1st week and on the 5th week. Because the week 6 is, you have the end of course project. Like what we did. CDRM plan for the participants' community and prepare for final exam schedule at the end of the week. Yes, there's an examination online and it's not that easy. After submitting your finals, there's also an evaluation form which you have to submit before you can get your certificate. Next, please. Yeah, my course requirements. So at least 4 discussion posts for each discussion forum. So I think I have 4 or 5 discussion forums. So I want 4 posts from each participant. So if you're not able to post 4, if you're only able to post 3, you will not get your certificate unless you give me a valid reason. That you have difficulty in your access, or you lost your laptop, or whatever, or whatnot. You have to submit your assignments and reflection paper. You have to attend the 2 live online class. I'm quite strict. Yes, take the finals, evaluation form. Next. Strategies. Of course, the input sessions, question and answer. Next, please. Reiteration of responses, points made to ensure common understanding. Yes, it is very important to clarify ideas that are being raised online, because the interpretation of the other participants may not be the same as the one who's giving the idea. So you have to do you mean that this is it, or do you mean that this is it? So you have to clarify and reiterate that this is what we all mean by this. You have to level off with all the participants. Summary and feedback. Yes. Every week, at the end of the week, you summarize. It's very important to summarize the discussion that took place. So all the points raised by the participants, you have to summarize it in one posting. And give feedback to the participants. Icebreakers. We cannot do magic online. But our experience on the World Bank training, they gave us a short quiz as an icebreaker, but I'm not so happy with that. So I was thinking that maybe I usually get some forwarded emails on how to have a 5-minute exercise while on your office cubicle. Like you have to raise your arms, you have to close your eyes, you have to do breathing exercises. That can be an icebreaker. Or you can forward jokes. Jokes that are really funny. I mean, not that will make them wholesome, but to make them laugh. Or stories, trivias. That can be icebreakers. At least once a week. And of course, the live chat classes. So I would really love that because I really will see the participants. Next, please. Communication strategies. Yes, here it's very important to have regular messages in the latest news section. Can we do this in the EDU 2.0? Like there's a latest news section at the beginning and the end of the week. So I have sample messages later. Direct email messages to participants with special concerns. Those who are always absent. Use positive and gender-fair language. Constructive feedback is given to all response ideas of the participants. It's very important, constructive feedback. So you have to look at how the gaps in their ideas, in their contributions. Next, please. Yeah, so example of to introduce a discussion forum. So you have to be friendly online. Good day to everyone. Hope to see you there, and don't forget your readings. It's like you're really meeting online. It's like you're friends. It's like you've known each other for so long. Next, please. An example of to remind participants of course requirements. However, discussions are becoming quite interesting. I hope you're all gaining new knowledge. Please be reminded of assignment 3 that is due on Saturday, June 5. You may post directly or upload the file. You guide them, remind them, tell them how to do it. And then next, flag schedules and changes there too. So if you have changes like instead of having our live chat, online chat on Saturday, we will have it on Friday. Please prepare your computers with the necessary internet bandwidth, webcams, and headsets. Be in front of the computers 5 to 10 minutes before the start of the class. So we run for approximately 90 minutes, quite long, an hour and a half. But based on our experience, it's fairly enough. Sometimes we're even within, even want more. Because it's really very exciting if you're on a live chat online and sharing your the usual, who is your city of Joel. Then I know that Nadine Bayba is from Cebu, and I'm from Silay, Negros Occidental. So we're both Bisaya. And also even Al is from Mindanao. And Joel is Cavite. Next, to poke participants with special concerns here. This is a little bit sensitive because I'm just a bit worried of your absence for the past 4 days from the discussion forum. 4 days, it's a lot. I mean, that's too much. And the last time I checked, I haven't received assignment 2 from you. Any problems with your internet access, or are you on a business trip? You know that getting the certificate depends on the submission of course requirements. We would really love to hear from you. So it seems that you have really you're concerned with your student, with your participants. So next, please. So again, strategies of handling assignments and projects. Reminders sent twice a week. Flexibility on the length and form. Well, here we have I am not too strict at all. Submissions will be edited in special cases, late submissions. Feedback should be given within 2 days after the submission of assignments. The students, the participants should get something from you on their submissions. Questions, clarifications will be solicited and responded to. Yeah. And I think 10 Miriam College employees, faculty, and staff enrolled in this World Bank program, but only 6 of us were able to get the certificate because some didn't submit their assignments, didn't take the quiz, and the end of course project. Next. Difficulties and challenges, of course, technical problems. That's the usual. So we really should have a good technical assistant in preparing our online class. Conflicts during discussions. Facilitator immediately mediates through explaining, clarifying, and differentiating. We had this role play. We were grouped into I think 10 groups. Then we were assigned to conduct our own online class, and our co-participants as the participant to our course. So in one team, we were assigned our role Like I would be a facilitator, she would give the icebreaker, she would summarize, she would give more of the content and all that stuff. And one group had a little problem, slight problem, when one of their teammates did the summarizing, but he wasn't the one assigned to summarize. So the other one was left with his role was usurped by the other. So they were having some problems online. So even among group mates, you can have conflicts. More so with other participants from other countries who may not agree with your ideas. The Turks were quite strong in their ideas, in their positions, aggressive. Forum traffic. Extra hours online for the facilitators by showing presence 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Wow, that's harsh. I thought, well, I'm thinking now that 2 hours a day is enough, but I mentioned here in my plan that I should be there morning, afternoon, and evening. Maybe that's why I need an assistant. Next. Oh, that's my references. Next. Thank you. Okay, that's it. That's basically it.